Good morning, good morning, good morning, community. East Coast, how are you? Is it warm for you over there? West Coast, we're just waking up. We have a little bit of overcast. Take a breath for yourself right now. It's Wednesday. Yay. And we're in the midst of summer. Yay. It is. Where is it on the computer? You don't even tell me what day it is. It's sometime in July. And I remember the day it is. I wanted to hop on here because I realized as I'm doing this, because I had no intention of being on here this many months. I think I'd started telling myself, you're going to be on, and the whole thing was about being consistent. And that was March. So now we're March 13th it started. So April, May, June, July. So I've been on here 4 months. My average is probably about 95%, maybe a little bit more, or 96%. I know there's some weeks. I haven't missed a whole week yet, though. I've been here at least on every time, at least 3 times a week. And what I'm realizing is the more I am here and present to you, and at some point each time there's like layers and layers and layers and layers of who we are gets released and revealed in the process. Because, this is like those people who were doing, I'll be on there for the whole year. They were doing 365-day challenges or something. And at the rate we're going, we're clearly going to be in this position until August or September, especially if we can't get the kids in school, particularly if, parents continue to be at home. And so I notice how I feel more. I was talking with my coaching community, a wealth group that I'm working with, and with my wealth challenge about what it felt like to move out of the struggle with money and to move out of the worry about money and frustration with money into a more prosperous place, and then moving from there into wealthy living and living that consciousness. And it was probably like the first time I captured the feelings of it. And so even today, I turned on my computer and I'm not sure what the first thing was, but whatever it was, it hit me. And I remember I felt it in my heart. And I thought, oh, okay. And that feeling was, I think it was warm. It was comfortable. It was, okay, that was a nice story that I read. Then I moved to Nick because I look at Wild 'N Out. I don't care what the age group is. I look at Wild 'N Out, love Wild 'N Out. I'm like, this is amazing. Hit it and quit it and quit it and quit it. I love it. So when I started to read the story, and then I saw part of the interview that he had done, I thought, wow, he took a hit because they took 3 of his gigs. They took The Masked Singer, they took America's Got Talent, I think it is, where he narrates, and then he took Wild 'N Out. And my first thought was, can he do it on his own? Has he made enough money and kept enough money to do it on his own? But it was because of something he said. And I thought, wow. Now, I couched it on my Facebook page because, I didn't want Facebook to shut me down. They may shut this down, but I was under the impression that Jane Elliott, who is an incredible white woman on this planet and says that, made it clear that the only reason why there's, quote, white or people of lighter complexion was because they were further away from the sun. That at the core, a black woman is the one responsible for all the race on this planet. We all came from a black woman. She was the first. She was the first. So when he's saying that the black race is the first, I thought, well, that's what I thought we knew. I mean, I know nobody pays attention to our history and they don't give any credit to our history, it just didn't change the facts. And she said that on nationwide public television. It's nothing new that the fairer skinned people moved further, further, further away from the sun versus those of our ancestors who stayed in Africa, who stayed in the countries where there was sun. So then I had a feeling about that. And then I don't look at all that stuff. I think it was something about Beverly Johnson, the model, African-American model, black model back in the day, was engaged at 67. And I was excited about that. And I kept being more cognizant of my feelings more than I usually am. I have been so driven by my mission and my purpose that not necessarily being totally aware of my feelings allowed me to zero in, and I just have incredible focus and powerful intuition, and all of those skills just kind of flow through me. But now, as I'm going through this process with you, keeping my commitment and going through what's going on out there in the world from a different perspective, I have a completely different perspective about it. Um, I just feel different things. But for me, I can feel them and keep moving. I felt the pistosity and then I felt the joy. And now I'm like, okay, I'm cool. So I wanted to ask you, what are you feeling? So that you can begin to see what you're doing with your feelings. Are you holding on to them? Are you being frustrated by them? Are you disconnected from them? Or are you the kind of person who pushes them down? And it only matters to you if, you hit a wall and then you're like, oh, wow, then you have to deal with them. What are you feeling? I know when I go outside, well, first of all, I find myself staying home more. And my son used to tease me when we first started because I was going here and going there. And I said something to him about, you need to get out. And he was like, Mom, you get up and go. I'm a homebody. Well, I've become a homebody. I had to find something to put on respectfully, so to speak, on a regular basis. So I'm home more, but I can shift the energy. I can discharge the energy so I'm not connected to it. I don't have to stay connected in a fight. I have to stay in a certain kind of energy to know that racism isn't okay, to know that the history of the African American people on this planet has been whitewashed or just eliminated. I don't have to stay in that anger about those things. So what is it for you? What are you feeling? Particularly essential workers. I went out yesterday to a doctor's appointment, and then I take my son to band practice, and then Sprouts. And everywhere I go now, I'm always asking questions, and I have time. Nobody's, there's not somebody right on my button in the line in the grocery store waiting on their turn and huffing and puffing because it's going too slow. I really am enjoying the 6 feet. I'm sorry, because I don't have anybody breathing on my neck. You know what I'm talking about. So I completely lost my thought thinking about that. So it was the circumstances, what are the people? So what are you feeling? I guess is what I want you to know. What are you feeling? So I'm talking to the x-ray technician, and I'm asking about how he's doing. Did he work the whole time? And he was saying he was grateful that he was able to work. That I guess it wasn't a selection process, but it kind of was. When they let people off, he was one of the ones that was able to stay. I didn't even think to ask him why did he think that was, because he was happy that he was there and I was happy he was there too. And we went on talking about, what was going on. And it was clear that there was some sense of just confusion, about what's going on. He said, I thought we were going to come together during this situation, this pandemic. I thought we would come together and everybody would work together and support each other. He's like, but we just keep seeming to find something to fuss about. This group is going this direction, this group is going this direction. And so it's interesting to hear his frustration and this confusion about, so what are we supposed to do? And I guess that's where the man not in charge, is doing his thing. And so then I met with, I just dropped my son off and I went to Sprouts, and I was talking to another woman about how it was for her and how she was feeling. And she seemed to be a little more light about it. She was doing okay. Her family was fine. Whereas the other gentleman, he had lost a family member, not specifically to COVID, but during this COVID period. It was an elderly person. But his frustration was that there wasn't a way for us to come together. And it just made me wonder how many other people out there are frustrated that there's not a way for us to come together. That it seems like the strife has greater value and greater power and greater attention than the acts and the desire to really come together in some type of way. So I just want to know, what are you feeling? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? Are you mad? Are you disappointed? Are you lonely or disconnected? Are you horny? Some people are single. I guess the lonely would take care of that. Sorry, that was probably rude, right? Okay, you're lonely. You're disappointed. Are you grateful and appreciation and gratitude and watching life unfold? In the midst of the storm, things are still unfolding. Yeah, let me know. How is it for you? Are you taking deep breaths? Are you dancing to the music you enjoy? Are you laughing with those you love? Are you putting your feet on the grass? Are you admiring nature and the beauty that surrounds us? Are you getting good sleeps? Are you taking naps? I know I can hear a mother right now. I'm a mother too, but I can hear her right now saying, is she crazy? I do not have time to be taking naps. I got 4 kids running around the house. But you know, how do you feel? I know you never expected your life to look like this for 2020. We get so used to just being on that roller coaster that, America creates. You go through here, you have your goals in January, you have all the holidays, you have your this, you have your summer, take your vacations, you go back to work, then you do the holidays and you do it all over again. And 2020 said, not this year. And not for anyone except, not without everyone being involved too. We're talking about all 7,000 people on the planet are involved in this. So let me know how you feel. I just want to stop by and ask you that. I'm good. I remember going to sleep last night saying, hey, I'm feeling good. Like, okay, this is what this feels like. Yes, okay. So I invited some of you, I put on the page below, and I asked you if it would be of value to you, those of you who want that life that you say you deserve, to know how to make that happen for yourself. What are the actions you have to take? What are the mindsets you have to take? In order for me to move from a prosperous life into a wealthy kind of mindset, there were certain things I had to shift. My old worrying ways didn't work. My not enough didn't work. There were certain mindsets, actions, and beliefs I had to step into to be able to actually see the result of what it would mean to have a prosperous life or, wealthy living and wealthy mindset. So I invite you to read that below and decide if you want to join us. I'm going to do a training tomorrow evening at 7 Pacific time. But in the meantime, let me know, what are you feeling? What are you doing to make sure that the feelings just don't get stuck here? And you're mad and frustration, and then you're gaining weight and you're mad about that, or you don't have a lover and you're mad about that, or, your essential worker is working, and while you appreciate that they're doing it, but you're mad about it because they're quarantined. What are you feeling? Or you've lost a loved one. What are you feeling? Let me know. Because in each of those moments, our feelings have a message for us. And if we're willing to feel them, breathe them in, feel them, feel the sadness, disappointment, frustration, whatever it is, cry about it, journal about it, and let it go. It doesn't have to end up as heart problems or eating more food or lack of motivation or disappointment or disgruntled, because we've got a long way to go. We've got a long way to go. So we've got to take care of ourselves first. We have to acknowledge what we're feeling. Oh, I know what it was. Sorry, I'm going way back to the beginning. I watched, is it Mary Trump? I probably shouldn't say that name. They cut my video. I watched that person who's not in charge's niece do her interview. And it was really interesting. It made complete sense to me. What she said made complete sense to me. And we were kind of picking up some of that anyway. If you knew it, you've been paying attention. The way people were coming and going in the administration, who was there, what's being popularized. What she said really matches what we see. So, and I think I had a no sense about that. I had no up, no down. It was like okay, that makes sense. There's another piece to the puzzle. So anyway, I'm just putting pieces to the puzzle for my emotions and my feelings and asking you, how are you navigating with yours? What support do you need, or what resources have you found for yourself so that you can stand anchored in something bigger than all this transformation that's going on out here and still live some semblance of a quality life? Let me know below. Take good care. Bye for now.